Live, everybody. Hey, if you're watching this as a rerun, you can skip ahead about 20 minutes. Just on here early to get things ready to go. Get stations locked down, ready to rock and roll. Yeah. Hmm. What's going on in your world, everybody? Look at that. All kinds of stuff going on. Hey, Waylon, how'd everything go at the class of 92? And why? So some of these numbers I didn't recognize, but they're scared to go to South Bismarck. Are you kidding me? And the biggest complaint was they didn't want to drive through road construction. What the hell happened to our classmates, man? Seriously. That's the biggest thing that they're worried about? I can't believe that. Good grief. Good. Glad you had a good time. I was down at the announced the ranch rodeo last night. Bowman County Fair. Wild in Wilton days. Breakfast from 8 to 10, parade at 10:30, car show 11 to 4 with all kinds of other stuff. Missoula, Montana. Scott, you made it out of there. Had a couple beers with Paul Chesky last night at the fair. Sawdust was playing. Clay Schaefer. That was Ryan. That was scared to go to South Bismarck. Good grief. Why is everybody turning into pansies, man? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Cheers to your ivermectin Saturday morning, everybody. Good to have you along. And I'm still alive. I was supposed to die from this 6 months ago. No, 6 months into it, it'd be like 2 years and 6 months ago. I was supposed to die about this. Yeah. He did not win any money in the Calcutta, but he bought a couple teams. So that was nice. What's going on today? Besides getting out and baling like 70, 80 acres of hay I got on the ground right now. And no, one bale an acre. Somebody asked me that last week, I think. I can't remember who it was. If I'm putting up only a bale an acre, am I cruising along pretty fast? No, it's rougher than hell up here. If she wants to stop back at John's, why don't you come up? We can jump on a horse and she can ride some of the Badlands up this way. All right, today, 1 o'clock this afternoon. Truck and tractor pull in Bowman. And then 5 o'clock is the 4-H sale. Going to be doing that. Oh, there you go. What else? Morning, Karen. Koly online, ready to roll. Good to have you guys. Should probably do a time check here one of these days. I'll get there shortly. Why is there a big heart on the bottom right-hand side of my YouTube channel? I don't understand that. All right. So we got this going on this weekend. Next weekend, I'll be broadcasting from the Dakota Walleye Classic. We'll have to do a pre-show just to let stations know that it'll be up and done on my YouTube channel. So you'll just have to go to my YouTube channel and play it as a replay. It's that because I'm fishing Friday and Saturday. So I won't have time to do my program, but I'm sure we'll have interesting stuff to talk about from the house of Jesse Flath. So that means, evidently, I have to get my poop in a group and get things baled up, cut down, and the hay put up here. Yeah. Oats and barley took a hit with the hail the other day, so now I got to put that up quickly. Yeah. So too much fun, as they say. Too much fun. Waylon, it would be easier to live in town some days, but I just can't bring myself to do it anymore. Can't do it. It's like pissing me off. You watch. So I worked for UPS. I worked as a union worker, which I desperately hated. As I was working they were like, Scott, you're going too fast. You're doing too much. You can't do that. We're supposed to do the bare minimum. Right. And then I got moved into a supervisor position because I was working, evidently. And man, oh man, you get into a supervisor position with UPS. And it's a great paying company. They take care of their employees. They really do. But now they're on strike because they make too much money. Come on. Really? Come on. We got hail. When was it? This past, was it Monday, Tuesday? Somewhere in there. We got hail down in my south stuff, and what was not a lot of fun. Dave from Minnesota finally got some rain. Oh, good grief! Listen to this guy. Listen to this guy. I'm trying to put up a bale an acre, and I'm right now on half a bale an acre stuff. And he's like, "We finally got some rain. Maybe we'll get a third crop of hay." Seriously, way to just jab it in there and twist a little bit. You know, they call this the Badlands for a reason. They named it appropriately. So, all right. What else going on? I have nothing. I got to take these cords with. I got to remember to take that with me. Got to set up audio for the 4-H auction this afternoon. And I need a lot of extension cords, audio cords, microphone cords. We'll see how that goes. The barley we put in was forage barley. Yes, forage barley. Not regular. Kind of fits me, doesn't it? Not regular. Forage barley, the oats that we have, it is mixed in with a grass mix because we're putting that, I don't know, 100, 120 acres back into hay ground. Hopefully that works out next year for me. And the crops look good around the countryside, though, don't they? If they didn't get hail, they look really good. Look at this sunrise. Thanks, Canadians. Thanks for not doing any forestry up there and letting everything burn and smoking everything out down in this lower 48. Everybody says, oh, it's so good for the ground. It might be if it's a quick burn like on stubble fields or something, but I don't think when it gets that hot, I don't think it's very good for the soil at all. Let's enable that. Let's call Kevin Vaughn up. He's always good for a pre-show laugh, isn't he? Let's see what happens. I just got to keep him from cursing on the air. All right, Wild Walleye Outfitters. I think that's it.
Hello, you've reached Kevin Vaughn at Wild Walleye Out.
Damn guy. Goes straight to his voicemail. Smoky in Billings, Missoula. Oh, man, it is thick today. Look, I'm looking out right now. Even in the early morning here, I can see a mile and a half. You look on the horizon, it's just smoke everywhere. It's nasty. Is this Kevin Vaughn?
Can you hear me, Scott?
There you are.
Hey, how's it going?
Just peachy. We're in the pre-show. We're on YouTube pre-show right now. We got about 10 minutes or so. It's 15 minutes.
Okay.
I told him, I said, I'm going to get a hold of Kevin here on the pre-show. So you always have some great information and quality entertainment going on. Especially on dating.
We're up on Lake Oahe fishing the Governor's Cup right now.
Lake Oahe, are you on the north side of Pierre? South side of Pierre?
North side of Pierre.
Okay. What does it change to on the south side of Pierre? It changes to, what is it? Lake
what is that? Sharp below?
Lake Sharp, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we got the smoke really bad. Can't see too far. That's a 507 number. Where's that from? Oh, that's Dave from Minnesota. Yeah. You guys getting the smoke,
Yeah,
Canadian
it's
smoke down in
smoke.
your neck of the woods down there, or what, Kevin?
Yeah, it's super smoky down here.
Oh man, it's
You
just
can probably
thick.
see about 3/4 of a mile to a mile, maybe a little more.
Yeah, it's you could just taste it.
We don't have it quite that thick here yet.
Oh man. Last night I woke up and I thought something was on fire, and I jumped in the fire truck and went on top of the hill thinking I missed a rainstorm or lightning storm or something, and yeah, it was just Canadians. They're floppy heads and their beady eyes.
Damn them and their maple syrup.
Damn maple syrup. Eric out of that Pierre here says, good morning from the garage in Pierre, trying to get Jolene ready to go. Thunder Valley next weekend in race. Started to focus on the 21st being next Friday. Yeah. 2 years he lost his son, man. That's a tough thing to have. He's been with me since, and I appreciate it, Eric. Thank you for being part of our show and being part of our family here on a Saturday morning. So you're down in that neck of the woods. Governor's Cup, did you meet Christy Noem, and does she look as good in person as she does on TV?
She wasn't there.
What? Why would
she wasn't even at the rules meeting.
That's bullshit. I mean, it's called the Governor's Cup.
Well, I don't run them all.
You know what I'd do is I'd send a strongly worded letter to the Congress.
Yeah. I don't know if a guy'd do any good. He'll just waste the pen and paper, really.
Yeah. They would look at a letter actually coming into the Capitol going, what's that?
I said, a guy should probably just show up and voice it in person.
Well, a lot of people are about that pipeline going on.
Yeah.
Pretty serious stuff, man. So how's this Governor's Cup work down there? Are you actually on the water right now or what?
Yeah, we're fishing right now.
Nice.
We took off at 7:15 was our flight. We're team 81, so we've been fishing for about 30 minutes, not quite.
Perfect. I can't wait to start the radio side of it. We'll cover that. And I got a fishing tournament next weekend. I got the Dakota Walleye Classic up in Lake Sakakawaka.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, that's you did that one off the boat that one year, I remember, with your buddy.
I know. I've been doing it that way, but now I can't because I need to have internet service, and we can't do it from the boat anymore. I don't have enough subscribers on my YouTube channel to do it from the boat anymore.
Huh. Oh. That sucks. That was pretty cool, I thought.
I thought so too. We actually caught a couple from at that time too, but
kidding me?
Fish on?
Oh, yeah. I just I just basically snagged a little tiny smallmouth bass through the gill with my jigging wrap. I thought I had a fish, and that thing wasn't but half the size of my jigging wrap.
Well, put it back on and use it for bait.
I'm going to have to. Oop.
What's the prize money down at the Governor's Cup in Pierre?
First place is 17,500.
17,500, man.
Yep.
Plus prizes, door prizes.
Yeah. But a guy's got his work cut out for him. 180 teams, and there's a few sticks around on the water today.
Yeah. And I'm sure you have boundaries. You can only go so far one way or the other, right?
Yep, you can from the dam just up to Bush's Landing.
Now, when you say Bush's Landing, that means something way different over here in the western side of the state.
That's the name of the boat ramp that you can't go past up there.
I got you. Okay. You got to clarify some of this stuff, man, and it doesn't always go that way.
Well, I understand that now after I say it. There's some things that just you don't catch them until after somebody else hears say them, and it's like, oh, yeah, I guess I can see where that could be misconstrued.
Yeah. Leave it to Scott to have the dirty mindset before we go on the radio side. Good grief. All right.
Is that only for radio? Because I don't think mine ever really shuts off.
Yeah. Well, you got to shut it off a little bit for the radio when we start. So I want to continue doing the program for a few more years anyway, Eric says
I got you.
Yeah. Eric says that's named after a family that lives west of Oneida. So there you go. Last name must be Bush. Yep. Okay. Station 70000 on Mark. That's your time check. 6 minutes, Kevin, to showtime.
Okay.
Do you have any more advice on how to date women over the age of 40?
Any advice on dating women over the age of 40?
Yeah.
Don't do it. If you've made it this long and you ain't married, you've accomplished something that most of us probably wish we would have.
What's that? Being single?
Yeah. You go fishing all the time with nobody to yell at you.
I'm batching it this weekend, man, and I'm telling you right now, I still got to go out, and after I'm done here, I got to try to get some 80 acres baled up, which the hay is terrible this year up in my country. Really is bad. Everybody else is like, oh, we can't get our oats to dry out. We can't get this. We can't get it's so thick and it's so heavy. And I'm like, stop bragging. Stop it.
Just super dry up there still then?
No, it's just the Badlands. The soil raises good grass in the pastures, but it doesn't raise nothing for crops. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Somebody's selling grass hay right now for $250 a ton. So yeah, I'd rather go around and chase it than pay $250 a ton.
Yeah, it's hard to keep cows in the pasture at that price.
Yeah. And according to they say, the old Farmer's Almanac people are telling me this is going to be a hard winter again.
Yeah, I know last year it never seemed to want to end.
Yeah. So the mayor of Mobridge tells us, he says, you got to get a woman that fishes with you. So then you have somebody to go with all the time. You have that, by the way.
Yes, I do.
Is she with you? Or is she your team member for the Governor's Cup?
No, actually. When we did the series, Mike Ockenbach and James Tremble won it. And James had his baby yesterday. So I ended up buying James a spot from him and coming up here and fishing with Mikey.
Nice.
Yep.
And she's like, you better do that because you're helping out a buddy.
Yep. Well, she won't get near a boat when it's tournament time with me.
Oh. What do you do like Sylvester Stallone and over the top and you turn your hat backwards and it switches a flip and you turn into somebody different or what?
That's what she says. I don't see it, but she says I get crabby and I'm not happy and I'm not very pleasant to be around.
How's that any different from when it's not a tournament?
I don't know. I'm still baffled, but then again, that's why I'm married. I got somebody else to do the thinking for me and I can be baffled.
That is absolutely true, isn't it? Yeah. Marriage advice from Kevin Vaughn this morning, ladies and gentlemen.
If that's what you're relying on, your relationship probably ain't going to last very long, folks.
Oh, come on now. A long time to some people is a year and a half. You've made it that long.
Well, that's true. That's true. It's not cooperating this morning.
I got a text as Tim Nace's sad day in Fargo. What is going on in Fargo? Did I miss something on the news here? By the way, 2 minutes to showtime. Radio station's 2 minutes. What happened in Fargo, Tim? You got good cell service down in that Lake Oahe part.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. It's lucky we didn't run as far as what we were planning to start. We kind of stopped here close and tried to find the fish a little bit closer to home here.
Yeah.
That way we were doing 50 down the lake, bouncing across, trying to talk on the phone.
Well, I appreciate you doing this for me, man, during a tournament day.
Oh,
I really do.
No problem. I love it. I enjoy getting on the radio and BSing with you. It's fun.
You know, it's tough. 3 cops were shot in Fargo last night or today or something. Holy cow.
Huh.
3 shot, 1 dead. Wow, I didn't know that. Okay. Well, we don't need to talk about that on the air. All right, 1 cop dead, 2 others wounded in an ambush shootout. The gunman also dead yesterday afternoon. Holy cow. All right, so all right, so we got 45 seconds of showtime here, Kevin, just to let you know.
Okay.
I'm going to go quiet here. I'm going to turn you down so you're not going to hear a whole lot here. So stand by with me. 30 seconds of showtime. Stations, 30 seconds to showtime. We back here. Starting up shortly. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors. I'm your host, Scott Bachmeyer. Been with you for nearly 2 decades, 20 years. If it had been 20 decades, I don't know if I'd be at it much longer, I'll tell you that. Coming at you live and direct all across the Dakota Territory. Great radio stations like KGFX in Pierre, South Dakota, that's hosting the Governor's Cup. We'll talk a little bit with Kevin Vaughn about that shortly. Also, KOLY, Mobridge, South Dakota. K-Fire 550, Bismarck, Mandan, KCJB in Minot, and KLTC Dickinson, the Western Edge. Kevin Vaughn with Wild Walleye Outfitters. Good morning, Kevin. How the heck have you been, my friend?
Oh, we've been doing pretty good, Scott. Just another beautiful day up here on the water fishing Lake Oahe.
You know what the crazy thing about this? So the Governor's Cup on Lake Oahe launched out of Pierre. Lake Oahe goes from south of Bismarck, Mandan, down by Fort Rice, all the way to Pierre. People don't realize how big Lake Oahe is, or at least how long it is, and it's what a great fishery it is too.
Oh yeah, and it's packed with just tons and tons and tons of fish, and there's some monsters that come out of here.
So, do you have any rules and regulations on the Governor's Cup fishing tournament today? Can you only keep 1 over 21, 22 inches? Is that the rule on Lake Oahe in the South Dakota side? How does that work?
Yep. So down here, it's a 4 fish limit with a 15-inch minimum and 1 over 20 per angler.
Okay. All right. So how's it going so far? You're in the water right now, on the radio, fishing the Governor's Cup.
I am actively pitching the fish.
Are you bringing any in? What do you have in the live well right now besides bait?
We don't even have bait in the live well right now. Right now, we've got air in the live well.
Nothing. You don't even run. You're not even running the pump right now. Come on, man. You need to.
Nope, don't even have the pump running right now. I have caught one little tiny baby smallmouth that I just I think I snagged him more than anything. I don't even think he was trying to eat it because he was half the size of my bait.
So the Governor's Cup, does that mean you officially were invited by Governor Kristi Noem? Got to meet her live in person?
No. I don't quite have it like that yet. She don't invite me over. But no, actually, how we ended up here is through the series, through the walleye series that I put on this year.
Yep.
Our team of the year, Mike and James, James had his baby yesterday and he wasn't able to fish it. So I ended up just buying his spot and come up here and fish it with Mike, trying to see if we can get something done. But it's starting pretty slow right now.
So I know that I try to be a little bit politically correct and sometimes not a whole lot, but I know for a fact that he did not have a baby. His wife had a baby.
It's a team thing, right?
Well, it's a team thing 9 months ago, but I don't know about the delivery side of things.
I'm sure he was in there cheering her on,
getting yelled at. Why did you do this to me? I don't know.
Right? Never again.
Never. Don't lay a finger on me. Yeah, no, that's great. It's good to see that. And I think so. Yesterday, I had the Bowman County Fair is going on in Bowman, North Dakota, and I was in there doing the ranch rodeo. I announced the ranch rodeo, and before that, there was a couple from Pittsburgh that came in, and they were discussing. They were talking and like wanting to meet everybody. They want to go to every state in the United States, and North and South Dakota are the last two on their bucket list. And I said, well, you started out right. You came to the western side of the state, right? I mean, that first off, that's good. And they said they were so excited with the first people that they met around the area. They said, you guys don't have any filters over here, do you? You're just like non-politically correct. You're like the old school husband, wife. This is what you guys do over here. And I'm like, well, that's the way it should be. And they like, it isn't in Pittsburgh. I'll tell you that. So that's good to have. It's good to hear that, man. It's good to hear that. So, so what are you using to fish the Governor's Cup? What are you using to target these walleye today?
Right now, we are just pitching everything but the kitchen sink at them. We're watching them on live scope, and we're just pitching everything we can at them just to see if we can get one to turn around and bite. But it might have to go get the kitchen sink and try throwing that at them next.
So when you talk about live scope, technology has changed, man. How has it changed for you, not only as an outfitter, but fishing tournaments too? Or does it just make you mad because you see them on the live scope and you can't get them?
Half the time. It's just as aggravating as it always was. And then every once in a while, everything works right and it works. And then you love it. You convince yourself that it's awesome and go do it again. And then you'll sit there and you throw 1,000 times at a stupid fish that don't want nothing to do with you, and you hate it again, and then you get a bite, and it's like, oh yeah, this is why I do it, because I love it. It's a love-hate relationship, and it seems today more hate.
Just for this morning, are you pitching jigs or are you pulling cranks? Or are you bottom bouncers? How's it going today? What do you do?
Right now, we're pitching, jigs and plastics, all just pretty much everything.
So there's a lot of people up in this area that put corn on their hook and just drop it in and they get fish. Have you ever tried that? Or is that's illegal in South Dakota, isn't it?
I don't know. I've heard them doing that for trout. I guess I didn't know they had a bunch of trout up in North Dakota.
Hey, we have just as much as you have down in South Dakota down there.
You can have all the trout you want. You can keep them mountain carp.
We don't have as many drums as you guys have in the South Dakota side, though. You got us beat on that.
I believe that. Jesus, them things are just ridiculous. But I'll tell you what, for about the first 10 minutes of the fight, you really think you've done something when you hooked into one.
Well, you just got to save the ivories out of them and start making necklaces and sell them to the tourists that come through the Black Hills.
I never thought about it, but that's something a guy could do.
Absolutely.
Pull them letters out.
Yeah. I got a question.
Never believe me when I got clients and I tell them that them drums, you pull them ivories out and they got letters on them. No. So then you got to pull them out. Yep, everyone's got a letter.
Is there a finish to this joke, or are you actually telling the truth here?
I was telling the truth.
Really?
Most people, when I get them out on the side boat, they don't believe that them fish have them rocks, the ivory in their head like that.
Right. I know the ivory's in there, but they got a letter on them?
Yeah.
Really?
Every one of them has a letter on them. Swear to God.
Is that right?
Yep. So cut them up and you'll see there's a letter on it.
Now you got me thinking I got to go do this. So the question comes in, says, is Lake Francis case below the Big Bend Dam?
Yes,
It is.
I believe so.
I do too. I think
Yeah,
so.
because Francis Case is Chamberlain and Big Bend's above that. So, yeah.
Yeah. Man, I tell you what, I don't know what was in the 40s, 50s when they did the Missouri River dams and they started putting in between Fort Peck and Garrison and Lake Oahe and all these dams that they put in. What a great fishing service that they've started with everything out there. It's just amazing having it.
Yeah, it's crazy what they've done with it and just how they've, been able to turn it into what it is now, and the fish and the size of fish and the numbers of fish.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Kevin, I know you're busy right now pitching some jigs. We're going to go into a break, and we'll be back 5 minutes here. Dakota Prairie Outdoors continues after these messages. Pfeiffer's Auction and Realty invite you to their next equipment auction. Go to Pfeiffer's.com and check out the Larson Estate Equipment Auction out of Brookings, South Dakota, July 18th. On Wednesday, July 26th, is the Upper Midwest timed online-only equipment auction. And on Thursday, August 3rd, the Erickson Farm Retirement Auction out of Hettinger, North Dakota. For more information on these equipment auctions and more, go to Pfeiffer's.com. MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Morest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer.
As you know, the cattle prices are fluctuating. It can be difficult for livestock producers to protect their investment against unexpected future. Let Dakota Community Insurance protect you against the unexpected future declines in the cattle market with a Livestock Risk Protection LRP policy. Contact Dakota Community Insurance today to discuss how LRP can help you manage your risk. Dakota Community Insurance is an equal opportunity provider.
Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy. Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, and Wilton. Pfeiffer's Auction and Realty invite you to their next equipment auction. Go to Pfeiffer's.com and check out the Larson Estate Equipment Auction out of Brookings, South Dakota, July 18th. On Wednesday, July 26th, is the Upper Midwest timed online-only equipment auction. And on Thursday, August 3rd, the Erickson Farm Retirement Auction out of Hettinger, North Dakota. For more information on these equipment auctions and more, go to Pfeiffer's.com. MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Morest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer.
As you know, the cattle prices are fluctuating. It can be difficult for livestock producers to protect their investment against unexpected future. Let Dakota Community Insurance protect you against the unexpected future declines in the cattle market with a Livestock Risk Protection LRP policy. Contact Dakota Community Insurance today to discuss how LRP can help you manage your risk. Dakota Community Insurance is an equal opportunity provider.
Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. Good to have you along. Dakota Prairie Outdoors continues all across the Dakota Territory. Kevin Vaughn with Wild Walleye Outfitters is at the Governor's Cup fishing right now as we speak in the water, Lake Hawaii, north of Pierre, Fort Pierre. Somebody tells me there's a good bar down in Fort Pierre. I've never been to it there, Kevin. You know which one they're talking about?
That would depend. I guess there's a couple of them downtown. It's been a long time since I've been to a bar in Fort Pierre.
Yeah, me too. I just hear rumors. I get text messages about it. So yeah. Hey, let's talk about the series that you had and how that went this spring. I know the spring really didn't cooperate with a lot of people because it was like cold, and then bam, it turned hot right away. And so how did it go here? The Wild Walleye Outfitters, because you had Shade Hills south of Lemon. You had Pactola down south of the hills. And what was the third one?
We had Shade Hill, Angostura, and Ormond.
Ormond. Okay, that's okay. Those three. How did it go, that series? How did it work out for you?
It went really great. I was just super impressed with, we didn't have a whole lot of teams, but the teams that showed up were all really good fishermen, and everybody was just awesome to work with. I'm kind of glad it didn't get super huge this first year. We had a lot of learning curve to work through, but I mean, as far as the series went, I couldn't have asked for it to go any better, honestly. Everything ran nice and smooth. Ormond, they fished in rain for 2 days, but they caught a lot of fish. The fish were biting, and so the fishing was good, so everybody was happy. No, it really, really turned out great. We had some really great sponsors, got some really good coats that we got to give away, some sponsored coats. Lynn's Dakota Mart was huge. They were our main sponsor this year, and they really helped us out, got us them coats. And Workus Trucking and JP Property Specialists and Rec Station and Spearfish there, they all helped sponsor us. And I mean, I couldn't ask for anything better.
Good. Are you going to do it again?
Yes, we are already planning for next year's. This is going to be an annual event. I ain't even started the fall tournament yet. We got that one coming up in October, and I'm already making plans for the spring one again next year. So
you do have one coming up this fall. What is that all about?
So we do it's going to be a small 20-team fall brawl up on Ormond. Just a little something in the fall for us guys that fish. There really ain't much else out there for tournaments or nothing in the fall, and everybody else is kind of winding down and going hunting and stuff. So I don't hunt, I fish. So we did it last year. It was a real small tournament, and I think we had 15, 20 teams. Just keep it small.
Yeah.
Cook everybody some food and have some fun, and a couple $100 to get in, and I think we do a big fish and pay everything out, and it still pays. It pays pretty good. The guy ain't gonna get rich, but it's more about the bragging rights. We get some nice trophies made up, and it's just a really good time. It's fun.
So if that's in October, would you allow a couple guys from the northern side of the border to come down and fish that with you?
Oh, yeah. We wouldn't hold it against you.
Would you give us an idea where to go at least? My Lord, we haven't been to Ormond, you know.
Oh, I'll show you right where to go.
Perfect. We're just follow where everybody else is going, huh? Eric, Jim says,
Not
Jim,
that big of a lake.
Jim says, believe it or not, drum aren't bad eating. Dad and my uncle were keeping them saying that they were good. I thought they were full of it until he tried eating a drum. And I guess it all depends on how you make it, I guess. I don't know. Aren't they? I thought they were like full of bones, weren't they?
To be honest with you, I've never cut one open more than its head.
Well, now you have to. Now you have to try.
No, you don't. I've heard people eat carp, and I'm not going to do that either.
What? Come on. If a true angler tries all the species. It's like a hunter. If you shoot a prairie dog, you at least got to try it one time.
That's why I ain't shooting prairie dogs to catching carp. It might get a little bit loud here. We're putting in the big motor and putzing up here, Wade.
That's fine. Eric says that the Oahe Dam was dedicated in 1962 by President Kennedy. His grandpa has pictures and walked through the tunnels as they were building it too. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet to see.
Yeah. Now, the mayor, Mulbridge, says the Missouri River has turned into a great fishery and tourist attraction, still managed by the Corps of Engineers for barge traffic and flood control. And that's one thing, a lot of people don't realize. The Corps of Engineers is still in charge of all of what's going on, how much water is going through, all the way from Fort Peck all the way down through the southern side when it goes into the big river in the Mississippi. And a lot of people don't realize that, but the Corps of Engineers has a lot of going on with that.
Yeah, they run all them water levels and dump water out of the dam. Yeah, they get all the good and the bad. They get the love and the hate.
Well, remember in 2011 when the big flood was coming through, is how much do we release and how much water is going to be done? I can't imagine. I can't imagine having that job. And Eric says, you know what, Scott, you guys don't have to try new stuff. So you're off the hook having to try carp and drum, I guess. He's backing you up on this one.
For that. See, I knew you had listeners with common sense out there.
I got the smartest listening audience all over the place, man. You don't have a radio show that's got a smarter audience than I do right here. So, all right. So you're moving, you're changing things up. Are you going to live bait versus plastics? Why is that such an argument with so many anglers out there between those two?
Honestly, I don't know. Some guys just hate the fact of having live bait in their boat. Makes a mess. I'll use what works, whether it's alive or dead or fake or plastic or metal. If it's catching fish, I'll put it on.
As long as it's legal, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Of course. We don't do anything illegal, Scott.
Not at all. Never. Although a couple of guys said they have a couple bars. You're supposed to visit the Silver Spur in Pierre tonight and something called the Hopscotch too.
The Hopscotch?
Yeah.
I got a bad foot, and that sounds like you got to jump or something. Heck, I don't know if I do that.
I don't know either. I don't know. I haven't been to either one of those, but it's like Small Business Saturday. We're advertising for the local bars in town for Pierre right now is what we're doing.
Okay.
So, yeah. But anyway, what's next up here tournament wise after the Governor's Cup here today? Do you have any more going on throughout the summer?
Nope. Our next tournament's going to be the Fall Brawl in October. I think it's October 7th and 8th. And that's it until ice. Other than that, we'll just be up at Ormond fishing.
So what is
people out?
What's it cost to enter the Governor's Cup in Pierre?
This tournament is $450.
All right. What's the payout? 17.5 you said for first place, but how many places do they pay?
Pays out to the top 20, and 20th place takes home $500.
All right. So at least you get your money back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's 180 teams, so.
So what are you planning? You planning on getting like 6th, 7th place? Are you looking at winning it all, or what's going on here today?
Well, we were just going to kind of walk away with the trophy, I guess. I don't know how they're going to feel about it in the end. We just figured we'd sneak up there and take it.
Yeah, you don't have to win it. You just walk up and grab it, right? That's easy. Yeah.
Yeah, I never said nothing about winning it. I just said we were going to take it.
Is it a 2-day tournament?
Yeah, it's a Saturday, Sunday tournament. It's from about 7 to 3, depending on what flight you are. We were second flight, so we went 7:15 and we fished till 3:15, and then we'll head back in.
And then tomorrow you're on the next flight. It's his switches. You're going to be
Yep,
on the
and then
late one.
tomorrow
Yeah.
will be third flight. We were second flight today, so
Okay.
we'll be third flight, and then we'll leave at like 7:30, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like Dakota Walleye Classic next week. They got 2 flights, the early and the late flight, and same thing on that. Not the 3-flight thing, that's not a bad idea. That would really split it up because there's 180, 190 teams in that one too. That would make life a little bit easier.
Yeah, they actually split it up into 4 flights. Kurt does a really, really good job. Kurt Underhill runs this tournament and the fishing crew, and they just do an outstanding job. They really do.
Well, we'll be back with more Dakota Prairie Outdoors and Kevin Vaughn after these messages. Pfeiffer's Auction and Realty invite you to their next equipment auction. Go to Pfeiffer's.com and check out the Larson Estate Equipment Auction out of Brookings, South Dakota, July 18th. On Wednesday, July 26th, is the Upper Midwest timed online-only equipment auction. And on Thursday, August 3rd, the Erickson Farm Retirement Auction out of Hettinger, North Dakota. For more information on these equipment auctions and more, go to Pfeiffer's.com. MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Mo Rest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer.
As you know, the cattle prices are fluctuating. It can be difficult for livestock producers to protect their investment against unexpected future. Let Dakota Community Insurance protect you against the unexpected future declines in the cattle market with a livestock risk protection LRP policy. Contact Dakota Community Insurance today to discuss how LRP can help you manage your risk. Dakota Community Insurance is an equal opportunity provider.
Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy. Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, and Wilton. Pfeiffer's Auction and Realty invite you to their next equipment auction. Go to Pfeiffer's.com and check out the Larson Estate Equipment Auction out of Brookings, South Dakota, July 18th. On Wednesday, July 26th, is the Upper Midwest timed online-only equipment auction. And on Thursday, August 3rd, the Erickson Farm Retirement Auction out of Hettinger, North Dakota. For more information on these equipment auctions and more, go to Pfeiffer's.com. MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Mo Rest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer.
As you know, the cattle prices are fluctuating. It can be difficult for livestock producers to protect their investment against unexpected future. Let Dakota Community Insurance protect you against the unexpected future declines in the cattle market with a Livestock Risk Protection LRP policy. Contact Dakota Community Insurance today to discuss how LRP can help you manage your risk. Dakota Community Insurance is an equal opportunity provider.
Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. Dakota Prairie Outdoors continues here on a beautiful Saturday morning. Well, a little smoky in the Dakota side. I think smoky everywhere. Kevin Vaughn with Wild Walleye Outfitters is my guest here. And he's cruising down the lake here. He's at the Governor's Cup fishing tournament in Pierre, South Dakota. We'll give him a couple minutes to be able to get where he needs to get to. He's reporting live, fishing the Governor's Cup, and here on the radio show with me. One of the people mentioned that the Corps of Engineers representative quoted Mark Twain to him. He says that water was when the water was at its lowest. He said, whiskey is for drinking and water is for fighting over. And I think that is true for many, many years. And Lake Oahe is one of those top fisheries all across the Missouri River right now. And it sounds like they're still cruising down the water here. We'll give them a couple minutes. But so if you have any questions, comments when they come back and get set up again for fishing the Governor's Cup, 888-932-5682 is the number. That's 888-932-5682 if you have any questions for Kevin. He also runs a Wild Walleye Outfitters out of the Sturgis Spearfish area, and kind of goes around Lake Ormond here quite a bit, and has a little bit of fun taking people out fishing. Has grown his business over the years. He's been with me for many, many times, and when he's just first started out, and continuing from there. So that's what's going on here this morning. And Kevin, it still sounds like you're on the water cruising. How fast you going? Can you even hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you a little bit. We're just about there.
Well, we'll give you a little bit of time. I know the wind and everything, it's hard to hear and the whole works like that, so that's not a problem. Coming up across the Dakota Territory next weekend, I'll be reporting from the Dakota Walleye Classic, entering that fishing tournament. That's going out of Beulah Bay up by the Lake Sakakawea area. And stations, just so you know, the show is going to be pre-recorded on the YouTube side, and that'll be up and loaded up probably Thursday, Friday, somewhere in there. So that show is going to be up there because I'm actually going to be out on the water fishing, hopefully catching fish and not just trying to hunt for those fish down once in a while. So that's next weekend, the Dakota Walleye Classic. Again, the Governor's Cup in South Dakota is going on right now. Kevin Vaughn with Wild Walleye Outfitters. We're just letting them get set up here for the next stage here. Sounds like you,
All right.
yeah, it sounds like you idled down here a little bit. So how fast did that boat roll?
Oh, we were doing about 50 across the lake there.
So what size motor you have on that thing? What is it? What brand of boat you have?
We're fishing out of a Ranger. I believe it's a 620 FS with a 225 Mercury on the back.
Man, I tell you what, it's just amazing the technology that's gone into these fishing boats over the years. Could you imagine 20 years ago having what you have right now? People would say that you're cheating back then.
Oh, they still say you're cheating now, but it's unreal. It's just to think to go back then and how a guy used to fish and how a guy fishes now, you know. And we were talking about that the other day, the old Bexler style fish finders, the flashers that they used to put on the boats. And, you know, you didn't have anything but a little a little circle with lights that lit up on it, let alone being able to, navigation and see where you're going. And because you get up here and one point they all these points look the same, and after so many, it's like, shoot, which one did we launch out of now?
Yeah.
And it's just, I can't imagine,
So let me ask you
30,
this.
40 years ago coming up here and doing this with that kind of technology.
So do you feel that the anglers are better at it today, or are they better 20, 30 years ago? What do you think?
Oh, it's hard to say just because it's two different worlds,
Yeah.
It's like trying to compare, apples and bananas. It really is. 20 years ago, the best anglers, they did it without all this stuff. Nowadays, we're fishing with stuff, and we're not even fishing the same way they were fishing. Before we're even fishing a spot, we know there's fish there that we want to catch, and then we put down the live scope and you look at them, and then you see them, and you pitch directly to that fish.
Yeah.
Where back then it was all, you were either pitching jigs or pulling lindies or dragging cranks, and you didn't even know if there was fish in the area. You just fished there because that's where fish were one other time, and you caught them.
Right. And a lot of people continue to fish that way. There's no doubt about it. One guy asked, he said, would the prize money from the tournament today buy that boat that your guys are fishing out of right now?
No.
Not even close. All right, we're going to let him move. It sounds like you're moving again here, Kevin. We'll give you a little bit of time to move here, and it's a little bit scratchy, and you're cruising down the old Lake Oahe right now. So there you are. Now you're back.
Sorry. We got the point here, trying to see if we can just find some fish.
Well,
Doing a little bit of graphing.
We got 10 minutes here, and then you can go fish hard like crazy. I appreciate you taking time during a tournament like this, but yeah, it's amazing what things cost now. You can't buy that boat for $17,500, can you?
No, you can't even buy the motor that pushes it for $17,000. I think new. You can get like a 35-year-old boat for that price. But honestly, anymore, with the price of these new boats and all these new boats coming out, everybody buying them, you get a few years and you buy one of these older Rangers like this, and I mean, these boats don't go back. Pretty outstanding. So
yeah, and
if a guy gets an older one and can get into them affordably, you don't have to, have that $100,000 boat.
Well, how do you do it with your outfit? Nice. With your outfitting service, how do you go about making sure you have the new equipment and comfortable boat for those people that want to have that, but yet it doesn't break the bank? How do you go about that?
It's just a thin line. There is no good way to go about it. You either got an older boat or you buy a brand new one every couple of years and stay up on it. That's kind of your options in that world there.
Yeah.
But if a guy wasn't guiding or taking other people out on your boat all the time, then I'm almost thinking about getting rid of my new boat and just buying a bigger, older Ranger and then just fixing it up and making it mine how I want, instead of buying this new boat. Then you got half the money into it and you can fix it up how you want it.
Right. Yeah, a lot of wind is coming in right now, so it must be a little windy down in Lake Oahe. Is it blowing pretty good down that way?
Yeah, we got a pretty decent breeze. At least it's enough to keep the flies off a guy right now.
One of my buddies says boat prices are insane and the interest rates are a little bit higher right now. It's hard to justify buying a boat right now, and I'm on the border on that right now, because it's like I really want to go fishing more, but maybe it's not the right time to buy one. I don't know. What do you say?
I would look. I would do my research, and I would look, and wait a little bit. You know, I think over the next couple of years, the guy's going to see a lot of people buy newer boats, and you know they got these Vexuses and Caymans coming out, and I think a lot of guys are going to be selling their Rangers and buying them Vexus and Caymans, and I get into an older boat that's fully loaded for a lot cheaper than buying new right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's crazy. You can find different prices here and there.
Yeah, and you know, don't be afraid to look. You might have to drive, but you know, Wisconsin, Minnesota, you know, they've got people selling boats over there, and they've got a lot of nice boats. And it's people, they buy them, and they're gonna go do more fishing and stuff, and then they buy the boat and they realize that just because they own the boat, they don't go fishing anymore.
Yeah.
And now they own a boat.
Somebody asked the question.
So they just been kind of storing it and stacking it for all that time, and then you know you got a basically a brand new unused boat that gets used a handful of times a year, and heck, it's better than buying brand new because you can get it cheaper.
Somebody posed the question on a text message: would you rather have a boat or a pontoon right now? Oh, I think we lost him. Oh man, Kevin, if you can hear me, we can't hear you. And I'm guessing the cell service is getting a little bit sketchy in that area. I'm guessing that. So that's not a problem here. We'll try to keep seeing if Kevin can hear us here with the sketchy service. Fishing the Governor's Cup out of Pierre, South Dakota, trying to find the fish, trying to get them out there. So boat versus pontoon, Kevin, you're back here. What would you rather have, boat or pontoon? I still lost him. Oh, you got to love it. Live radio, ladies and gentlemen. This is how it's done. There. Did you get stopped in there, Kevin? We finally hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Would you rather have a boat or a pontoon? The question has been asked.
Boat. For fishing tournaments and stuff like that, definitely a boat. Now, if I was guiding a bigger group, there's times I do wish I had a pontoon just because you can fit more people on there and it's a little bit more comfortable. But for tournament fishing and running up and down the river, I would rather have the boat. Smaller, more compact, faster.
Yeah. Now, pontoons are a little harder to fish out of, aren't they? I mean, they're just not really set up for that. It's not like you can easily attach a trolling motor to those things.
Actually, anymore, they put them right on the front, and they do set up really nice. And actually, I've seen people put, you know, a couple different trolling motors on them so that when they get to drifting and stuff like that, and they're a big, stable platform, you know, and the wind and the waves, they're nice. But I just think they would be a little tough to control when we're trying to live scope, especially if the wind comes up and they start pushing or drifting or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, some of these pontoons now, people are loading those things up with some big motors, and those things can cruise across the lake pretty fast. There's no doubt about that. I mean, with anything, it seems like the size of these motors on these boats anymore are just getting larger and larger. And not only that, but they're also more reliable than they used to be.
Oh yeah, with this new technology, and man, it's like I said, the places the fishing industry's going is just crazy. The baits, the sonar, the motors, even the trolling motors now, they've got, you know, they're doing the brushless trolling motors and the advancements on them, the graphs. I mean, it's insane. A guy could break the bank just buying fishing stuff.
So if there's any technology, like as you're out there fishing and guiding people, if there's like technology that you could develop, one thing that you would like to see on the fishing side, what would that one thing be that maybe you came up with that might be out of reach for many, many years? Is there something out there that's missing still?
I'm sure there is. I just, I don't know.
Seems like they keep coming up with stuff. I mean, side imaging, right? I mean, that was 10 years ago, people were like, that's new technology. Now it's been around a while. So where does it go from here?
That's, yeah, I mean, and what they're doing with live scopes, the way that, you know, you get guys that are setting up 2-3 live scopes on the same pole and fanning it out. And then they got, you know, one pole looking, you know, a couple different directions. And then you got guys putting drift paddles or putting, trolling motor blades and stuff on drift paddles and power poles so that they can run them independent in the back of the boat for when they're live scoping and they need, you know, they get a drift or whatever, they can pull one corner back or however they need to do it. And I don't know where the technology goes from here. Cause on my boat, I can set the trolling motor to follow a line on the map on the screen and set the cruise control, and you never have to look at it twice. It just does it.
Yeah.
That's, you know, there's your auto lit and your cruise control, so you don't even drive the boat no more. You just fish. Latches for, you know, the Dorado on the front of the boat. You just drive up, snap that in. You don't even have to get your feet wet anymore. As far as technology and making things to where it's just so dang simple and stupid anymore that I don't know what else the guy can make it easier.
Well, you know, and that's one thing, you know, with this artificial intelligence, it's going to be more and more type of equipment on whether it's boating, whether it's ranching cattle or anything else that we do in on a daily basis. It's going to be advancing that technology more and more, and it seems it can't go any better than what it is. But, you know, 20 years ago, they probably said that too.
Exactly. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what the future holds as far as, you know, sonar and that kind of stuff, because where it's at now is just unreal. And if it gets better, then I don't know how. So,
well, let me ask you, just like on the hunting side of things, is fishing right now becoming a rich person's sport where only if you have a lot of money are you able to get all these fancy toys?
Yeah, it is definitely a rich man's sport. It is 100% commercialized. Everything, you know, from the bag of plastic baits you buy to the live scopes to the latest and greatest fishing poles to everything. And you pay a premium for all of it, you know, even from the newest to coolest baits. It's a pay-to-play game.
It is. Well, I tell you what, Kevin, we're up against the end of the show here. How do people find Wild Walleye Outfitters? And are you booked up for the summer? Or are you just going to sit back and do tournaments all summer?
No, actually, I got to start going back. Done with kind of the spring tournaments for the year, and now it's just time to go grind out fish and take people out and make them smile.
How do people get in touch with you?
105-86. You can get on Facebook, Wild Walleye Outfitters, or we've got a website at wildwalleyeoutfitters.com.
All right. I'll give that number again. You broke up a little bit there, but I'll let you go. Kevin, thank you so much for taking time on a Saturday, especially during a tournament. I know that's a pain in the butt sometimes, but I really do appreciate it, and so do the listeners. Thank you so much.
I really appreciate it.
All right. Have a good one. Happy fishing to you, buddy. We'll talk to you later here. Kevin Vaughn with Wild Walleye Outfitters. Again, you can find him at 605-519-4286. That again, 605-519-4286 is the number there. We wish him the best of luck out on the Governor's Cup out of Pierre, South Dakota. Thank him for coming on the radio program. And, you know, it's one of those things. Saturday mornings, everybody wants to take the weekend off. So when you hear these people coming onto the radio program, send them a message. If you find them on Facebook, send them a message and thank them for taking time out of their busy schedule, because they're definitely doing it to help out here. So there's no doubt. Gene says 9 out of 10 walleye caught had no opinion on the cost of the bait. That's Absolutely true. But you watch any of these outdoor television shows, man. I mean, it's a competition. I get it. That's mostly sponsors, right? I get that. And they're only going to brag about what they're using. There's no doubt about that. But you know what? Get out and have fun. The fishing in North and South Dakota, we can sit and talk about CWD and the deer and sit and complain about a lot of things, but the fisheries in North and South Dakota, I think, are the best in the nation. They really are. They do a heck of a job keeping that going, and kudos, man. It makes it fun for all of us. Coming up next weekend again, stations at the Governor's Cup out of Beulah Bay, North Dakota, and Lake Sakakawea. I'll be there, and we will do a pre-show. Okay, it'll be a pre-recorded program. It'll be uploaded on YouTube Thursday or Friday night, and we'll have that going on. So I appreciate that because I am going to try and attempt to get out there and do some fishing myself. Bowman County Fair going on this weekend, along with all the other fairs across the Dakota Territory. Make sure to take part of your local county fair and attend the 4-H sales in all of them. Eat some meat, drink some milk, have yourself a great weekend. All right, stations, thank you so much. Everybody else on the YouTube side, thank you guys for participating. I know it was a little hard to hear with the audio, but that's how you know it's live radio, man. That's how we do it. Hopefully your captain knows what to do. Yeah. So if you're around the area, swing into Bowman here this afternoon. The truck and tractor pull at 1 o'clock. The 4-H sale, 5 o'clock. And if you just want to support 4-H kids and help them out, just send me a text message and you can Venmo your money to me, and I'll be more than happy to spend it for you. Have yourself a good day. I got to get out, jump in the baler, get some hay put up, so have yourself a good day. Catch you guys later.